Hey guys, this is JC from JC's Farmette, and today we're gonna go do a little spring garden tour. All the things that are coming up and stuff that it's kind of getting a little bit bigger. I really just want to show y'all what's going on in the garden today before the next couple of weeks happens and the garden just starts going crazy. So I've got a couple of failures, a couple of successes, and I'm really excited to show y'all. So here we go. Okay, so because it is the middle of the day, I am failing to find any good source of light that's not blinding in my eyes and not shaded out my face. But y'all want to see my plants, not my face. So here we go. Okay, so here is the cottage garden. As y'all know, or if you follow my Instagram, you know that I covered everything with a silage tarp this past winter. I put manure on everything, covered everything with the silage tarp, and I think I did it wrong, guys, to be honest with you. First of all, sunflowers are a weed for me. They're coming up everywhere. But I've also just in every single, I want to say this is the most weeds I have ever had this early on. And I really believe it's because I covered it with that silage tarp. And I'm not saying that that's a bad method. What I am saying is I think I did it wrong. So anyways, here's the cottage garden. We've got sunflowers just about in every single row. We've got zucchini right here. They're getting pretty good size. They're doing pretty good. I'm excited about that. And these are my burgundy bush beans. I did half burgundy and then half blue lake and some numbers. And to be honest with y'all, I'm not overly happy with my germination from the blue lake something number. It's supposed to be an heirloom variety, and I actually bought the seeds this year, but my germination rate is like super poor. And it's not because of all of these sunflowers, because those just came up within the last, couple of days. So it is what it is. But if you go over here, I've got more burgundy bush beans, and they're doing really well. They have every single seed that I got put in here has germinated. So I'm really thankful for that. I've got all of my squash and zucchini. I basically spaced out in really random places because last year I had a lot of cross-pollination going on, and so I'm trying to keep it a little bit further apart than what I did last year. Just got some banana peppers right here that my dad bought. Every year he buys a couple of, there's a shadow, sorry. Every year he buys a couple of plants, pepper plants for me to put in my garden, and there's always a really good head start on major nursery pepper plants versus my pepper plants. But I also have several different tomato plants. These are all my Brad's Atomic Grape tomato plants right here. And we had a torrential downpour, which we were all thankful for. We really needed the rain, but with that and all this crazy wind that we've been having, some of my plants have started to struggle. But for the most part, they're all pretty healthy. You can see the girls sunbathing. Hey girlies. Right here, I have basically just some 2x4s and some wire put over it. You can see. And all I do is throw barley seeds in there and a lot of water just to get them started, and then they're honestly good after that. And they will just germinate really easily. You don't even have to put soil over them. And the chickens love it. Okay, this is my bed of okra. I've got, these guys just started coming up. But every seed that I put in germinated, so that's good. That's always a good thing. I planted burgundy okra and Clemson spineless, and Last year I had both varieties did really well for me. So we'll see about this year. Basically, this part of the garden hasn't been sown with anything yet. It's gonna act as my stagger planting area. So as I need to plant more squash, more green beans, etc., I can just start planting it on this side. Got just some little bitty baby cucumber plants growing along this cattle panel. My green onions are blooming. These things are massive. They've lasted me forever too. These are just a little bit newer than these, you can tell. I want to say last year, the ones on the right hand side of the garden, I went ahead and pulled just because they weren't healthy. They were so big. And these guys are probably going to have to go at some point, but they might make it another year. Look at my rose bushes. I'm so excited. I've got 2 climbing rose bushes on this cattle panel. And I guess I need to get in here and fertilize because we've got a lot of growth and no blooms. So I did fertilize a couple of weeks ago. I think it's probably time to start again. Just some more cucumbers. And in between the cucumbers, I planted herbs. Like that's cilantro right here. I've got dill around in some of these. And then this year I planted muncher cucumber, national pickling cucumber, lemon yellow, and cucamelons, which I'll show y'all in a minute. You can definitely tell which side of the garden got started first. This is all of my onions that are doing well. And then I've got potatoes. This is basically this whole side of the garden is onions and potatoes. I planted red onions and yellow sweet onions. And then I planted just a Yukon Gold and a red potato, which I really haven't done any kind of variant from that. That's just about what I plant every year. But they're all doing really well. Real pretty foliage. These onions got planted before the other ones, so they're doing good. So, and then like I said, I've got just like random. This one is yellow squash, random spots. These are sunflowers. What's so sad is I haven't even planted sunflowers yet. Because I probably still will because I love my favorite varieties. But I'm actually going to leave these. Here's another squash plant. I'm actually going to leave these because these are growing right next to the corn patch. So honestly, I think that they'll do pretty well together. And if they don't, if it kind of becomes an issue, then we'll just go from there. It's kind of hard to see what's going on in here because my corn just kind of came up. But, so it's all pretty small right now, but we're getting there. And then I've got a pumpkin, sugar pie pumpkin right here. And I'm kind of hoping it takes all of this so I don't have to worry about weeds too much in here. And then this row right there is gonna be flowers, but I haven't made it that far. And then this row, I'm excited about this one. These are gonna be my climbing pole beans, my green pole beans. I'm struggling to remember what variety I grew this year, but just a basic heirloom green pole bean. And these had just started coming up. See, right there, just a little guy. So I've got a couple that have germinated so far. Another mistake I think that I made is, let's see. All right, this is the lemon yellow cucumber. This is the only one that seems to be doing decent. I did start these in the greenhouse thinking I could get a head start on growing cucumbers, which is kind of silly, but they don't do so well once it gets too hot. So I just thought I would go ahead and try. I don't know. They really don't like their roots disturbed. I know that, but other people start them inside, so I just thought I'd give it a shot. They've definitely like struggled since I put them out here. And for those of y'all that are expert seed starters, yes, I did harden these off. I don't know what happened. Then I've got my cucamelons that everyone encourages you to start inside, indoors, in a controlled environment. And they're just not doing very well either. Yeah, I mean, look, that's so sad. I have more starts in the greenhouse, but I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna try to just completely like go one by one, essentially in the same row, and just go ahead and sow some more seeds just to be on the safe side, because I really have a goal of putting up a lot of pickles this year, and I don't want to not be able to achieve that goal because I didn't restart seeds. So that's the plan. Then I've got my grapevine over here, looking all pretty and lush. I'm really excited about that. And I've also got my nectarine tree that I planted last winter, not this past winter, last winter. It's growing stuff up from the bottom. I don't know hardly anything about trees, fruit trees. And then, you know, we had a pretty rough winter again. This is like not growing anything at all. And whenever I break pieces off, I don't know if y'all can see that, there is no green inside of that. So that tells me that this part is dead and this part's alive. So if y'all know what to do about that, like, please tell me. Do I need to just cut that? I mean, that seems really extreme and really dangerous, so I don't want to do that. But if y'all can see that, I did have some blooms. So I'm curious to see if I'm going to get any fruit this year. This technically would be the second summer that it's been in the ground, so we will see. And y'all are going to be like, why in the world are you taking us back here? This looks like a weird abandoned forest plot. So actually, I just seeded a lot of barley, lentils, and wheat berries. Just kind of a little mixture. And this right here, and I'm kind of curious what's going to happen here, because if it does grow, we're planning to get meat birds. So whenever we do that, I'll just put my electric poultry netting over here, and they're going to have a really awesome first pasture to start out on. Seriously, how bad my sunflower weeds are. This is all sunflowers. This is just in the grass. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. Then I've got some watermelon seedlings coming up. Right here, and right here. Then I've got all kinds of different tomatoes in this row. I started some brandy ones. I started some San Marzanos, if that's how you pronounce it. I think some of these, like in the other garden bed, aren't doing so well with the torrential downpour plus all the wind we had. So these are my pepper plants that I started. They're doing pretty well. I started California Wonder, jalapeno, banana, couple of different ones. Brazilian starfruit, Buenamatata peppers. All this wind has really got everybody kind of in a bind. So, here we go. It's really hard to see, but I've got some dill going right here. And just a lot more peppers. We've got sugar rush peach over here, banana, buena matata, lots of jalapenos and California wonders. So we'll see how they do. These, I believe, are all of my San Marzanos. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. But they're all like really healthy, but it's already kind of time to stake them. They're wanting to move around and wiggle a little bit, but the foliage on them looks very healthy. We've got a couple of little blossom heads right here, which is exciting because these guys were the super tall, and I put like just the head of the plant and the whole rest of the stem down into the soil. So these guys are going to have really awesome root systems. I'm really hoping that this turns out beautiful this year. I've got a couple of different things in here, like some canna lilies, some yuccas. Got an agave plant right there. And a couple of different lilies. So last year it was pretty, but it was the first year that I'd put majority of those bulbs in. So this year I'm really hoping it puts on a show for us. It's gonna be pretty. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to tell y'all. So basically I'm waiting on mowing season because mowing season's gonna help me mulch all of that, so I'm not having to water so much. I have a decent pile. Probably tomorrow I'll get to mulching what I can, and gearing up for getting all those grass clippings to get that garden covered. And honestly, guys, that's just about it. That's all I've got for you today. Everything's growing. It's taking its sweet time. I was a little bit concerned that it wasn't going to grow very well because it did kind of take a while to germinate, but we had so many like warm days and then very cold nights. Warm days, cold nights, and I don't know. It just had a lot of weather fluctuation and all of that good stuff. So it is what it is. Everything seems to be taking off now, so that's really exciting. So, but anyways, I just wanted to show y'all everything that's going on around here as far as the garden goes. And hopefully the next time y'all get to see it, everything is doing really well, and maybe I'll get this already started weed problem under control. Well, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye.